Hello dear learners, in this video we'll be taking a look at how to solve quadratic equations. Algebraically, there are three methods of solving quadratic equation. It's either we solve it using factorization, or we solve it using completing the square, or we use the general quadratic formula. To start with, let's try factorization. And we are going to be using factorization method for this. Number 1, where we have 2x squared minus 5x minus 7 is equals to 0. At this point, for the general quadratic formula that says ax squared plus bx plus c is equals to 0, where a, b and c are constants. When we are factorizing, what we need to do is to multiply a and c. A, c, we multiply it. So we look for the factors of AC that can give us B, factors of AC that can give us B, two numbers that when we multiply them, they will give us B. That's what we look for. So back to our question here. Here we have, if we multiply the two parts, we'll be having minus 14x squared. So our concern now is, what are those two numbers that when we multiply it will give us minus 14, but when we add them it will give us minus 5. Minus 14, that's if we multiply, but if we add, it must give us minus 5. Let's look at those two numbers. 2 and 7 are the product of 14, or we have 1 and 14 itself. So there is no way we can combine 1 and 14, adding it together, that will give us minus 5. So this can be our needed material, but this will work for us. We need minus 5, so that gives us minus 7 plus 2. Minus 7 plus 2. So then we can now substitute that into this equation, saying 2x squared minus 2x plus 7x minus 7 equals to 0. So what we have done is that we have substituted this. Everything here is the same as what we have here. So we have just been able to split using this method. And we move on. We can factorize this. What is common here and here? That's 2 is common, x is also common. So if you divide 2x squared by 2x, we'll get x, then minus, if we divide 2x by 2x, we'll get 1. Close that bracket. What is common in this is also plus 7, and that will give us x minus 1, close our bracket, equals to 0. So we then take the factors that are outside, which are 2x plus 7. We pick any of these two that are inside the bracket, so x minus 1 equals to 0. What this means is that for this for product of two numbers to be equals to 0, it is either one of those number is equals to 0 or two of them are equals to 0. So for this to be equals to 0, is either this is equals to 0 or this is equals to 0, or both of them are 0 equals to 0. So let's now start to test that. That will give us 2x plus 7 equals to 0, or x minus 1 equals to 0. So this one says 2x is equals to minus 7, which we can then say x is equals to minus 7 over 2, or x is equals to 1. Therefore, we can say our final answer, therefore, x is equals to minus 3 whole number 1 over 2, which is the same thing as minus 7 over 2, or our x is 1. So those are the two possible values that we can say our x is for this question. Let's try the second one. The second question here is 2x squared minus 3x plus 4. 2x squared minus 3x plus 4. 2x squared minus 3x plus 4 is equals to 0. So, since no method is stipulated in this question, let's try it. Can we factorize? That's 4 times 2, 8. That's plus 8. What are two numbers that when we multiply it will give us plus 8, but when we add it, it will give us minus 3? Can we ever have such combination? Because factors of 8 will be 1 and 8, 2 and 4. So there is no way we can combine 1 and 8 that will give us minus 3. There's no way we can combine 2 and 4 that will give us minus 3. That means factorization method cannot work for this. We may then need to use the general quadratic formula. For the general quadratic formula, recall the general quadratic equation is ax squared plus bx plus c is equals to 0. So the general quadratic formula follows the pattern x is equals to minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac, everything here, over 2a. So back to it. Here our a is equals to 2, our b is equals to minus 3, and our c is equals to 4. So we can then substitute this into all we have here, the general formula. Therefore our x will be equals to minus, that's minus here, then our b minus 3, that's minus 3, close the bracket, plus or minus square root of minus 3 all squared minus 4 to bracket 2 to bracket our c, which is 4, close the bracket, everything here divided by 2 into bracket of 2, which is our a, which we can reduce to x is equals to minus times minus, that's plus, that's 3 plus or minus, so square root of, when you square a negative number it will give you positive number, so square root of 3 raised to the power of 2 That is, when you raise a negative number to the power of 2, it will give you a positive number. So 3 raised to the power of 2 here will give us 9, positive 9, minus, if we multiply all this, 4 times 4, 16, multiply by 2, that's 32. So that's 32, everything over 2 times 2, which is 4. So at this point our x is equals to 3 plus or minus square root of, we subtract this one, that's 23, negative 23 over 4. So here now, negative 23 over 4, since there is no square root of a negative number, that will give us an imaginary number. So we can say our x therefore can be equals to 3 plus square root of minus 23 over 4, or our x is equals to 3 minus, remember this is plus or minus, so this is the part of plus, the part of positive, and this is part of negative, minus 23 everything over 4. Assuming this is possible for us, that is not having negative here, then we can simplify further. But here now is negative, so there is no square root of negative number unless we want to take it into the imaginary, where we introduce that I is equals to square root of minus 1, which we can take some step further to integrate our, to put in our I into this sum. But this is the possible solutions for us for the second question that we have here. Now, if you find any of this interesting, try out question number 3, that is the C part. Try this question out on your own. You may need to first determine if it will only work with factorization method or it will work with quadratic formula method. Thank you.